Hey folks, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. Hey, I just put up a 15 or 30 minute podcast earlier, but my computer is now, the Wi-Fi and the internet and Spectrum and my computer are all working out. So I think they've made up, you know what I mean? They're a little angry at one another earlier, so, hey, what can I say? Now, we have a lot of things that are going on. We have a lot of things that are happening in our country. And literally, the deep state is cracking down on free speech. That's one of the things, okay? 30th of July, 2018, red alert, deep state censorship crackdown continues. The establishment is trying to shut down alternative media. A previously undisclosed TSA program called Quiet Skies put certain passengers under surveillance even when they were never suspected of a crime, not under investigation, or not on any terrorist watch list. I'm going to put this up on Wayne S. Pierce on Facebook. I mean, frankly, folks, if you look at everything around us, if you examine everything around us, if you look at just the whole landscape of politics in this country, you'll see that there is a problem. And the problem is the leftists. Oh, no. Let me just lump a whole bunch of people into this category. The Democratic Socialists, the Republican Fascists, the Libertarian Marxists, the whole Progressive Party as a whole, that's who they are. And I don't give one rip whether or not you want to believe me. This is what it is. I don't care. Okay? I don't care what your opinion is on this. I'm looking at it from a very objective point of view. Are you? Doubt it. But anyway, who am I, right? Who am I? Seriously. But anyway, how you doing? Got a lot to share, got a lot to get into. Going to be a full-pack podcast today because, the deep state is trying to shut us down, period. End of sentence, done. It's just... Trump tweets, end the myth of Fed independence auditing, and then ending the Fed is a key to permanently draining the welfare warfare swamp. And because I just read that headline, I'm going to put that up as well. Wayne S. Pierce on Facebook. Check it out. Things are changing around the network. Just want to drop that in there as well. Things are changing around the network. And I have a new show coming up this week, but I'll tell you more about that Wednesday. Just to let you also know, tomorrow is going to be a rebroadcast of a previous podcast that I recorded. And so that's going to be up. I'm taking tomorrow off because it is my birthday, and, I do that, okay? So it'll be a rebroadcast tomorrow, so, There's going to be some other things tomorrow, too, so if you want to stick around after the show and hear some other programs, that'd be great, too. Thank you. Hey, if you want to contribute to the network, you can advertise on the network. I'm not out to break your advertising budget, so you can go to The Wayne S. Pierce Show, go to the sponsors page, check out all the information there as well. And, so if you want to drop a few bucks in the kitty to help me keep the lights on around here, you can. Go to patreon.com/American Liberty Radio. Patreon.com/American Liberty Radio. What else? What else? From yesterday, John Bowen, Infowars.com. Is Roseanne Barr really worse than pedo comedy? PC police pick winners and losers of comedy based on political leaning. It was back on May 29th that Roseanne Barr made a tweet about Valerie Jarrett that put a screeching halt to her mega successful reboot that gave a voice to middle America. In retrospect, Valerie Jarrett is a very public figure, and Roseanne was pulling from an old tradition of comedy roasting where anything goes. Or at least it used to, until the social media gods began picking winners and losers based upon their political leanings. And as Roseanne begs for forgiveness and explains herself, comedian Dan Harmon proudly flaunting infant and female rape humor, calls for the murder of America's sickening by his twisted display of the First Amendment rights. That's the whole article, folks. So there's a double standard. The double standard is pick winners and losers, okay? The double standard is go to social media, who's pissing off who, and let's not vote for them, and who's pissing off who, let's ruin their career, because that's what the deep state does. The deep state looks at you and says, oh, you are this, you are that, because of your posts on social media. 3 words, yada, yada, yada. 3 more words, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it before. I've heard it all over the place. It is there. It is in your face. No one really cares about the opposition's view to peace, freedom, liberty, and security. I stand upon the principles of peace, freedom, liberty, and security. I stand on the Constitution, the Bill of Rights of the United States of America. I'm a patriot, and that's just the way it is. And if people are sick of it and sick of me saying that, go to hell. Or better yet, pack your crap and go to a socialist country where you belong, because obviously you want socialism here and you want everybody to get everything for free, and you're a freaking idiot. Bye. Pack up your crap and get on a boat, get on a plane, go somewhere, because I don't even recognize you as an American citizen anymore. No, I'm not pulling any punches. You are totally dead set against making this country better, productive, innovative, creative, using technology to make things better in this country. You're totally against everything. So bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm just saying, go away. I know people aren't, and I know that's a lot to say, and I know that I can't tell people what to do, when to do it, why to do it, or how, because obviously I hate people doing that to me, except for a boss that pays me every 2 weeks, and obviously they have my attention. But anybody else, 30th of July, 2018, Steve Watson, Trump slams, quote, very unpatriotic, unquote, and quote, unquote, fake journalists, quote, I will not allow our great country to be sold out by anti-Trump haters in the dying newspaper industry, unquote. President Trump slammed mainstream reporters at the New York Times and the Washington Post Sunday as very unpatriotic after reports were published focused on criticizing the machinery of Trump's administration. The president described the reports as bad stories and charged that the journalists who wrote them are selling out the country. Quote, 90% of media coverage of my administration is negative, despite the tremendous positive results we are achieving. It's no surprise that confidence in the media is at an all-time low, unquote, Trump tweeted. Here, go see what else he's tweeted. I told you I got a jam-packed show today, but, yeah. There are times, I want to put it to you this way. I want to lay it out for you in a very succinct, way. I'm going to lay this out in a very succinct way because it's the only way that I can. It's the only way that I was taught to. Lay all your cards out on the table, show people what you have, tell them the situations, look at the, circumstances, all of that, and let's see if there, is some kind of affinity and agreement or some help in there somewhere that somebody can give you. I was taught to do that. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's something else. Don't be afraid to ask for help. But let me lay this out here for you. We have the United States of America, and if you've learned in your Western history classes in high school 30 years ago, 40 years ago, or more, you understand what the foundation of this country is just by reading various stories in these textbooks and everything that was there, and then you yourself going out and looking at it on your own. You see this, right? 30, 40 years ago, you see this. Now, when you look at the revisionist history in the textbooks of America, of the United States specifically, you're seeing something totally different. There is a total change, absolute total change in how things are being described. In other words, let's do away with all the good things that happen in this country, and let's promote all the crappy things that are happening in this country. And let's take down the people who want things to be better instead of helping them help the country become better. That's not my opinion, folks. That's fact. Go look at it. Go look at it. I've never once... How can I put this? I never once agreed to ever accept anyone else's negative opinion about the United States of America because of the fact that I see all of the negative stuff going on out there, and I find, I seek, I grab, I read, I look at all those things that are factual, accurate, and truthful, and I shove it in the face of those opposing peace, freedom, liberty, and security. And these people run away from me like the sunlight to Dracula. I don't get it, folks. I don't understand it. I don't have... I mean, what are we doing, folks? What are we simply doing? How do we understand this stuff if we're not able, or if we don't want to, and have no desire to look at things objectively? How can we do this? Okay? By the way, on Wednesday, we'll have the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. We're going to talk about the choices that people have, the opportunities that people have, the options that people have, such as, do you want to go to a 4-year university or a community college, or do you want to be homeschooled, or do you want to look at the information on your own? Because that's what I've done. I looked at all the information on my own. High school taught me valuable things, such as how to, find the information, how to seek out the information, how to write it out in a comprehensible manner. After I graduated high school, everything was on my own. I went to the public library. I went and talked to people. I did all sorts of wonderful things to gather the information I needed to make the right choices with the options that were out there. That's what I did. That's what I did, and that's what everybody should do. And I see within the last 10 years or so that more and more people, more and more parents are pulling their kids out of public and private school and homeschooling them because of that very thing. That very concept. So, yeah, so what can I say? Sorry, I'm dealing with sinus problem right now. So, and I'm also multitasking. Sorry. I look out at America and I see the greatest nation in the world. I look out at the United States and I see the greatest country in the world. That's what I see. You know why? It's because I see the negative and I see what happens when people try to pull the wool over other people's eyes. When they try to institute, quote unquote, socialistic type of policies and having them shot down within and repealed, in some cases over the years. I'll give you a prime example. The whole state of California. A California Supreme Court judge said, we have a right to open carry for our protection. I say for our protection. He says, we have a right to carry. Period. End of sentence. We have a right to carry our weapon next to us. Now, a lot of people, and I know this, and I've seen this, and I've heard this from various people. This is not the Old West. Well, no, it's a lot worse than the Old West. Okay? Because there's more people, okay? There's more people. California has over 35 million people, and that's down from, I think, 42 million in the last 10 years or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Somebody crunch the numbers for me and send them to me. But the fact of the matter is that, yes, we have a right under the Second Amendment to carry our weapon openly to protect ourselves, period, end of sentence, done. I do not care what you Marxist... I could rant, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to say that anybody that is against the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and against the principles of peace, freedom, liberty, and security for this country need to pack their crap and get the hell out. No, I'm serious. Get the hell out. You don't like this country, obviously, so obviously you don't want to be here. So bye-bye. And don't go to Canada because they're... yeah. I know people in Canada, trust me. They say, well, and they're trying to justify their socialist health care and all of that, but there's no justification for it. There's none. There's no justification for it. Long lines, months and months before you get to see a doctor. It's like, that's bullcrap. And they're veterans. You think our veterans here are suffering under bad policies from the VA? And things are changing with that. Thank you, President Trump. My God, the veterans in Canada are suffering probably just the same, if not worse. So you think socialism is going to work? Did you know that Mexico is a socialist country? Mexico and people, American citizens, have married Mexican women and became Mexican citizens. They hold dual citizenship. Did you know that over 2.5 million last I checked, the data that came in before? This is probably like 2013 or 14. Yeah. So you want to continue to do what you do? Go right ahead, but you're not doing it in the United States of America. You're going to pack your socialist crap and you're going to get the hell out of here. That's what you're going to do. And I think 200 million people with over 200 million guns are going to tell you the exact same thing. Get the hell out. You don't like it? I don't care. Look at Germany look at England before Germany bombed the crap out of them in the Blitzkrieg. Go look at England. Wonderful, fantastic city, great, wonderful things are happening and all that. And then Germany decides to bomb the crap out of them. And they rebuilt. They rebuilt their whole cities. And guess what? They're much better for it. Now, of course, history, if anything, if history has taught us anything, it is that we cannot trust anyone who is in the opposite mindset of having a free society, peace, freedom, liberty, and security, a constitutional republic. That's what this is. It's not a democracy, so shut the hell up. America is the United States is a constitutional republic, period. End of sentence. Shut up. That's what it is. If history has taught us anything, it's taught us that anybody that is against that is stupid. They're the enemy of the state. They've been brainwashed and indoctrinated with bullcrap all their lives. But then again, hang on to your horses there, cowboy. The Western Europeans that came over here, our ancestors, that came over here in the 15 and 1600s, and developed the land over here and fought and survived and became what they became. And England said, well, let's move some stuff over there, shall we? The British colonies of America. Go look that up. And then in 1772, 1773, King George went, you know what? We need some more money from them, so we're going to raise their taxes on tea, on other goods and services. Yeah, we'll do that. It was the British colonies of America. And the citizens back then went, no, you're not, King George. Go shove it up your... Yeah. And they did. They forcefully, 3% of the population of that time stood up to the British Army and kicked their ass and went, we want freedom. That's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be. We had diplomats here going back and forth to England trying to talk to King George. Finally, King George went, yeah, okay, you guys want to experiment in freedom? You go ahead. Let's see how far that lasts. Let's see how long that lasts. Go ahead. So he did. We fought the War of Independence. We won. And guess what? We handed everything back to the British colonies in 1871 with the signature of President Ulysses S. Grant on the Act of 1871. And if you don't believe me, yeah, connect the dots and track the money and follow the money and connect the dots, man. Because I'm telling you, we're screwed, okay? Hippie liberals attack fishing tournament, learn embarrassing lessons. Gillian Zeal, 30th of July, 2018, westernjournal.com. It used to be that vegan activists used to only show up at cattle ranches or chicken farms, but no. Now they're turning their attention to fishing tournaments, an apparent sign that virtually nothing is sacred in this age of outrage. According to Fox News, the Wilmington Fish Save and North Carolina Farm Animal Save descended upon the city of Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina to host the Vigil for Fish. No, really. Protesting the annual $15,000 Wrightsville Beach Inshore Challenge fishing tournament. Quote, we're vegan activists and we want to bring awareness to what fish go through, unquote. Protester Daniel Weber told WECT, what? Do you have a... Daniel, do you have a connection, a telepathic connection to fish? And do you know how they live and what they do? Yeah, I thought so, dumbass. Quote, look at it from this fish's point of view. If you were in your home and you would not want to be hooked to a hook in your mouth, you do not want a hook to be hooked into your mouth. You would want to be pulled up. You would not want to be pulled up. You wouldn't have to fight for hours for your life to be pulled up. It's scary. We want to bring awareness to the consumer, Weber said. Is this the correct thing to be doing? Should I be doing this? Should I do a little bit more research and see how intelligent fish are? They have communities and complex social structures, unquote. Well, to quote the Parks and Recreation character Ron Swanson, Nick Oberman, quote, fish for sport only, not for meat. Fish meat is basically a vegetable, unquote. It's not like these are the smartest animals in the world. One probably ought to think of them like swimming insects. However, the vegans at the Vigil for Fish clearly didn't agree. They showed up with signs like fish feel pain, fish want to live, sea life not seafood, all displayed before the weigh-in at the tournament. Thankfully, the voice of reason was on the scene too. Guy Hurley, one of the tournament organizers, pointed out to WCET the myriad ways in which the tournament is completely ethical. While Hurley said he was, quote, glad we live in a place where we can protest, unquote, he noted that fishermen simply weren't a threat to conservation and that the tournament actually tried not to kill the fish. Quote, we are very much a conservation-based tournament, unquote, Hurley told the station. Quote, in fact, we provide extra payout. Anglers can win extra money if they weigh their fish and alive. So we encourage them not to kill the fish, but to weigh the fish alive. And then they get extra money. And we release the fish. Fishermen in general are probably the best stewards of the resources, unquote. He continued, quote, they care about the resource more than anyone else. I can't speak to perhaps the protesters' claim that fish have feelings, that fish have souls. I mean, I'm not sure, unquote. As for the fish that aren't caught alive, many of them go to local families in need. Quote, a lot of the fish that we take, we donate to First Fruit Ministries, which is Wilmington-based based food bank that accepts whole fish and then puts it to people in need. We feel good about what we're doing, unquote, Hurley said. So that protest was a no-go, was it? It didn't shut down anything, did it? Yeah. Yeah, surely there are a few things that people need to understand. Protesting to make changes is one thing. Protesting because, well, you just can't stand somebody having something better than you, yeah, that's just completely stupid. 30th of July, 2018, Paul Joseph Watson, CNN is, quote-unquote, fueling the Civil War, an economist said. Quote, the damage CNN is doing to the country and the world is beyond description, unquote. I'm going to put that on my page as well. It's just CNN. Enough said. Excuse me, coffee. I've had coffee earlier, and my God, I'm just, yeah. Anywho, folks. How can anyone, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to put this out here, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but how can a person literally look at themselves in the mirror and say that the negative things that they are doing is justified? How can anyone look at themselves in the mirror and be a part of a political party that is trying to tear down America? How can they live with themselves? I don't get it, folks. I just honestly do not get it. I don't. I just don't. I don't get it. Hollywood director goes rogue, tarnishes Obama legacy. Scott Kellenhofer. 29th of July, 2018, yesterday. Jaco Boyens has been fighting against human sex trafficking for nearly a decade, so he has an accurate idea of how much help his cause has received from the government. So when Boyens, who also directed the movie 8 Days, which is based on the true stories of victims of sex trafficking, says former President Barack Obama didn't do anything to help fight the problem, it carries credibility. Boyens is a member of the board of Traffic 9/11, founded in 2009, and has helped free hundreds of youth from sex trafficking operations. But he says little, if any, of that help came from during Obama's time in office. So there you go, folks. Right there. Right there, folks. Right there. I am so pissed off right now. It's called controlled rage. I am so pissed off right now that I feel like taking people by their scrawny freaking bodies, grab their scrawny little millennial snowflake arms, and just yell at them. But I don't. It's not going to matter. It's not going to make any difference. It's not going to help them understand what's going on. It's not going to do anything. Do you know why? Because they don't want to learn. They don't have the capacity to ever retain any information at all because they're dumber than a box of rocks and they're dumber than a doorknob. That's some really dumb people right there. And I'm insulting a box of rocks. So, I mean, come on now. I'm gonna go to break, folks. I gotta get the heck out of here. All right. So, hang on. I'll be back in about a minute. Don't go away. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast right here on American Liberty Radio. Growing up terrestrial radio, the future is here. Destroying the liberal media, one truth bomb at a time. Independent media is shattering the liberal national security media into a million pieces. Their views of the world are based on the script the government gives them. Independent media seeks out and finds the truth and reports on what is truly going on behind the scenes. Support the truth and facts. Support independent media. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. Go to our website at AmericanLibertyRadio.com or email us at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. How you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast right here on American Liberty Radio. How are ya? Are you good? Are you happening? Holy mackerel. God. Have you ever seen so many stupid people in one place? Oh, wait. Yes, you have. They're in Congress. But anyway, yeah. I'm just. The Daily Caller is reporting on the 30th of July, 2018, therapists seeing patients with Trump derangement syndrome, quote, there is a fear of the world ending, unquote. No, I don't know, man. I'm not even going to read that. I'm just going to put that up there for you guys to check out. Okay, Wayne S. Pierce on Facebook. Like the page. Don't like the page. It's completely up to you. I don't mind. Yeah, big sigh. New York Times upset over threats against media, ignores 500 plus attacks on Trump supporters. Yeah. John Nolte, Breitbart.com. 30th July 2018. New York Times publisher A.G. Salzburger, says he's worried about threats against journalists, even as his publication has all but ignored more than 500 attacks against President Trump and his supporters. After meeting with the president this month, Salzburger released a 5-paragraph statement about the weekend meeting. I'm not going to read all 5. I'll read this. He says, and I quote, I told the president directly that I thought that his language is not just divisive, but increasingly dangerous. I told him that although the phrase fake news is untrue and harmful, I am far more concerned about his labeling journalists the enemy of the people. I warned that his inflammatory language is contributing to the rise of threats against journalists and will lead to violence. Salzburger claimed he was responding to the weekend's Trump tweets, quote, had a very good and interesting meeting at the White House with A.G. Salzburger, publisher of the New York Times, unquote. Trump wrote, quote, spent much time talking about the vast amounts of fake news being put out by the media and how that fake news has morphed into phrase, quote, enemy of the people, unquote. Sad. Nowhere in Salzburg's statements did he ever offer any explanations of these threats, which greatly harms his case. If Salzburger could offer an example of anti-media rhetoric resulting in someone being harmed, he would sound serious. Instead, he sounds like a typical thin-skinned media elite using emotional blackmail and fake news to try to silence valid criticism of his failing and corrupt industry. There's more to it. Check it out. Wayne S. Pierce on Facebook. Oh, by the way, if you're not seeing all of my posts like in one day or within a few hours, I want you to let me know, because Facebook, Twitter, Google, all those have been shadow banning everyone. Twitter, a congressman is now seeking legal remedies over Twitter's shadow banning. So I think Facebook needs to be in that same lawsuit. So if you're not seeing my posts like right away or maybe a couple of hours or whatever, let me know. And, we'll go from there. All right? So thank you. Appreciate that very much. So anyway, let's go to RT.com. Let's see what Russia is talking about, shall we? Russia is aware of U.S. Western military plans. Russian financial minister said this. This is 30th of July, 2018. Moscow knows what military actions Washington and its Western allies might be plotting against it, but the country is well protected. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said, quote, our awareness of what plans the U.S. and other Western countries' military are nursing in relation to the Russian Federation is guaranteed, unquote. Lavrov told the participants in the Russian Youth Educational Forum, quote, territory of meanings, unquote, held some 200 kilometers from Moscow in Vladimir region. The U.S. has been actively deploying its air defense systems around the globe, including on Russia's doorstep in the Baltic Sea and Japan. But the top diplomat said the country shouldn't worry, quote, no matter what happens in the world, unquote, as its security is ensured. He was citing Russian President Vladimir Putin and new developments in the Russian army. Tokyo is planning to spend some $4.2 billion over the next 30 years to install and operate U.S. radar systems on new ground-based Aegis Ashore missile defense system. Yeah, and who's paying for that, folks? Excuse me, who's paying for all of that? I don't doubt that Russia has a legitimate concern about our military because we can kick anybody's ass. Well, maybe Russia. I don't know. Maybe we'll probably walk away with a few bruises. I don't know. Speaking of war, this is an op-ed at RT.com. Is Trump planning to strike Iran next? Here's what you need to know. This is Rebecca Sunderland, Global Look Press. This is on RT.com. I'll put this up. A recent report claims the American president is looking to bomb Iran in yet another violent act of international aggression by the U.S. At the end of last week, a bombshell report released by the Australian Broadcasting Company claimed that the Trump administration is ready to bomb Iranian nuclear facilities as early as next month, further claiming that Australia may assist in identifying possible targets. The report cited senior figures within the Australian government, Australia being one of the key players in the so-called Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, which also includes the UK, Canada, and New Zealand. There we go. That's going up as well. Excuse me, I got some stuff here, man. I got some things going on there with the phlegmy crap going on. Excuse me. So let's let's take a look at the president in regards to the foundation of peace, freedom, liberty, and security. Let's take a look at him and let's see what he's doing. He's, one, draining the swamp. Two, putting policies in that will severely limit the Progressive Party, and they're pissed off about it. Excuse me, I get tired of my nose. So, and then third, let's take a look at this. He's telling everybody what's happening, what he's doing, which to me, I'm kind of divided on that. I think he needs to lay off Twitter a little bit, maybe not post so much on Twitter, and I think his advisors have also said that. But I think if he has something to say to the people, he should say it. He shouldn't go to Sarah Sanders to have her be the mouthpiece. No, I think he needs to just get on TV every week or every, twice a month or something and say, here's what we're doing. I can't tell you everything, but here's what we're doing. I really do. I think he should stand right next to Sarah Huckabee Sanders and, tell the world what's going on. I really do. But, that's just me. But who am I? Let's see what else is going on here, right? Blue Lives Matter claims Facebook's fake news rules have halved its audience. Okay. Did you know that several months ago, if you haven't heard this, Fakebook is going to be the news aggregate, such as the Drudge Report and all that, a news aggregate. And they're going to put out all these fact checks and, all this stuff, fact checked and Snoped articles, about what the real issues truly are and what it really means, which those two sites are a bunch of bullcrap anyway. But this is what they're doing. This is, they said this several months ago. I have seen a dramatic decrease in people's posts in other areas. I've seen fake accounts go bye-bye. Yeah, we've seen conservatives being banned and limited and censored and all this. So, yeah, we see this. Randall Hill, Reuters, Blue Lives Matter, a group advocating for greater protection for police in the U.S., has claimed that Facebook's new rules to combat fake news has almost halved the number of people it can reach on the platform. See what I mean? Excuse me. The group said that the introduction of Facebook's quality surveys, remember those a couple of weeks back, in which the platform asks users to rate a news source in terms of its trustworthiness, has already seen the audience for its content fall by 40% in the last week. Blue Lives Matter believes the drop is down to partisan social media users voting down pages run by opposition groups. There you go. That's a long way of saying what I just said a little while ago. But, who am I, right? It's going up on my Facebook page. A lot of people know what is going on. I'm not going to sit here and give you the rundown of what's going on. A lot of people out there know what's going on. They have information on their own that proves once and for all they're right. I had to drink some water, folks. I'm going to say this, and I rarely say this, but I'm going to tell all my friends out there on Facebook, I'm right. That's just the way it is. Now, could I have overlooked something? Oh, of course. Doesn't necessarily make me wrong. It just means I've overlooked something. Let's take a look. Take a look at what I missed. No big deal. That's how you learn. That's how you move. That's how you progress forward in this intellectual battle we're having with the left. But you have to be aware of their fake news, and their fake news is what's dominating the airwaves right now. Did you know that terrestrial radio is failing miserably? Did you know that everything, and you probably know this already, and it could be a duh statement, but did you know that everything's going to the internet? You have cloud, you have things on the cloud, as they call it, like PBX systems and phone systems and all this. You have all of this on the cloud. And my question is, where is all that going? Where is all that going? And can others listen to it? In other words, can the people that are, in that room with the clouds and with the servers, can they access that stuff without our consent? That's why this show is copywritten 2018. And I'm telling you right now, you have my permission to use it. But the fact of the matter is that anybody can get a hold of your information. Anybody can get a hold of your information. Don't tell me they can't. They can, period, end of sentence. Do not. You have a cell phone which goes directly to your cloud. You have an iPhone, it goes to the, iCloud, it goes to. You have an Android-operated phone, it goes to Google. Have you ever has anybody sent you a picture in Messenger and then you go look at your photos at Google, at your Google, Drive? That's what I meant. Google Drive. Has somebody sent you a picture and then you go to your drive.google.com site for your phone? You'll see that picture they sent you. Okay? Now you can obviously go into the settings and change that, but have you gone to history.google.com and found out where they're tracking you? Yes, that information is for your eyes only, but who else can see it? What I'm saying, folks, is this. We have a president in the United States of America that is draining the swamp of all the opposition forces to peace, freedom, liberty, and security. That includes most of the politicians that are there in Washington. Some are retiring coming up in the midterms, and that's why we've got a whole plethora of people trying to get voted into office. And most of them are Democrats, by the way. Or it might be half and half. But we have a president that wants to drain the swamp. We have a president that wants to secure America. We have a president that says that Mexico is going to build the wall. Wait a minute. He just said that he wants that wall built, but who's paying for it? How is this going to play out? Any other way? I mean, look at this objectively. Look at what is happening objectively. Look at it. Examine it. Ask yourself, where are you in the whole scope of this situation? And then ask yourself, how are you going to help? Okay? I mean, that's just... that's what it is. It's all up to you. It's not the president's responsibility. It's yours to help him drain the swamp. There's a hole in your bucket and water is coming through. And you're in a little boat. Did you not think that there might be a hole in the boat and the bucket? And you lift the bucket and there's a hole in the boat. Wait a minute. How'd that happen? So now you got to plug two holes. But mainly you have to plug the hole first that is keeping you afloat. The bucket, depending on what's in it, you can toss it overboard. No big deal. But you have to plug the hole in the boat before it sinks. You know? You see what I'm saying? And if the Democrats get the majority of the House and Senate this midterms, we're all screwed. Things are going to be shut down quicker than anything. They're going to impeach President Trump. They're going to throw his ass out of office. They're going to install a president. No. It's not election. It's going to be installation because they're Marxist, communist, bullcrap artists that have buffaloed you into believing that they're right and they're the strength of America. They're not. They're Marxist, communist, bullcrap, totalitarian artists. Not even artists. They're stupid people. Stupid people. Okay? I can go on and on and on and on, but I won't. Hey, I want to ask you, I just noticed on my system over here that the thing crashed a couple of times. So if you got space in there somewhere, if there's space, let me know. Email me at American Liberty Radio, or excuse me, not that address. The WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com. Go to that website. And also email me at WayneSPierce@USA.com. WayneSPierce@USA.com. I noticed that it crashed twice. So just on my system over here, it crashed at about 3 minutes ago. And then it reconnected again. So, yeah. So it only lasted a few seconds, but still, a few seconds is a few seconds. I don't know, folks. I mean, I'm fully aware of what's going on, and I can go on tangents all day long, but you guys don't deserve that. You really don't. You guys don't deserve it. So, help me out here. Give me what you have. Send me the information you have. Let me know what your opinion is of it. And we'll go from there. Okay? Send it to WayneSPierce@USA.com. WayneSPierce@USA.com. Let me know what's on your mind. Go to my Facebook page, Wayne S. Pierce. Talk to me. Tell me what's on your mind. Tell me, tell me what you know, okay? Yeah. All right? Because, I want to know. I'm not angry with you. I'm not going to get pissed off or anything. I want to know what you know. I want to know, I want to know how you know it. So supply some information along with that as well. So anyway, folks, I'm going to get off a little bit early here because I'm behind schedule here. I've got a bunch of stuff to do in the studio. My God, I know I got work to do around here, and it's only me. I am the sole proprietor of this place, and I have to make it work. So anyway, yeah, folks. So I'm gonna get out of here. So folks, check it out. The Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com. Email me at WayneSPierce@USA.com. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm off tomorrow. It's a rebroadcast. Talk to you later.